Hello world, hello Australia. It's Jamie here, the Crypto Koala. Now today, guys, I've got Rosemary O'Neill. She's the founder and CEO at Narrative. Great to have you here today, Rosemary.
Thank you very much for having me, Jamie.
Now, I understand it's a very exciting time over the US and it's Super Bowl Sunday. So you must be pretty excited over there at the moment.
Very excited. I'm a sad Redskins fan, but I'll still be watching.
Oh, awesome. Now, I guess what I like about the Super Bowl is the ads and that as well. They're pretty awesome. Some of the ads are pretty funny.
Yes, that's always the big part of the Super Bowl. Everyone, as you're eating your chicken wings and pizza, that's the entertainment.
So could you tell us a bit about yourself, you know, your involvement with Social Strata, and also a bit about you as the founder, Narrative?
Yeah, sure. My husband, Ted O'Neill, and I have been running Social Strata together for about 20 years now. We just had our 20-year anniversary of the company, and we've been working with a platform called Hoopla that serves Fortune 500 customers. It's online community engagement. So a lot about the way people relate to each other online, content and engagement, and all of that great stuff. So over all this time, we've been watching how people deal with content and how they engage with each other in the online environment. And so about a year ago, Ted actually wrote this brilliant white paper for Narrative. And we got really excited about the idea of bringing a content platform for the consumer that would eliminate the middleman in terms of having someone governing the system who's not a member, so a corporate entity, allowing the members to be in charge and letting them actually get the rewards out of the platform for their content they're creating. And that was kind of the original spark of the idea. So kind of leveraging all of our experience over these past many, many years, and using that, applying that to a problem that's very real right now.
Awesome, Rosemary. So it sounds like you've got a background experience in sort of social media, in community engagement. So it's good that you can take that sort of like from a traditional platform and then bring that to developing it into blockchain, which is really good. Now, I understand that Narrative is something for the community. Could you tell us something, Rosemary, about the Narrative platform and what inspired you? You've touched base in it a bit. Could you tell us a bit more about what inspired you to start the Narrative platform?
Yeah, so what Ted described in the white paper basically is the idea that you can come and you can post content as a creator, as a writer, and you can actually, based on the quality of that content and your reputation in the Narrative platform, you can actually earn rewards for the value you put into the system. So it's a very simple platform. You can post content to your own personal journal. All the content is public. You can also post to what we're calling niches, this is the core of the platform. These subject areas we call niches. So it could be Game of Thrones, it could be Australia, it could be fly fishing. And the important piece is that each niche has an owner. So the owners are actually like a built-in ambassador system. If I own a niche, I am incentivized to go promote it and bring in quality writers and quality content to write in the niche so that it becomes popular, because the niche owners are rewarded based on the popularity of the content in their niche. And there's a third leg to Narrative, which is going to be essentially brand channels, which we're calling publications. Those will be more of a controlled space. So if a niche is like a public utility where anyone can post on whatever the subject is, a publication is more like an owned space. So if Coca-Cola wanted to have one, or a group of writers wanted to get together and have a publication, like a little magazine, those can exist as well in a workflow controlled environment.
Awesome, Rosemary. No, so I understand that you're a decentralized platform, that's what you're bringing. You're not like a traditional platform like Facebook, like YouTube or Medium. So I guess of that, you bring that whole aspect of decentralization to the users?
Yes, our transaction system is on the blockchain and therefore transparent and trustworthy. You can actually see what's going on in terms of who's earning what rewards for what actions. It's all above board. But more importantly, we really have adopted the philosophical underpinnings of the blockchain. I would like to say blockchain movement almost, of transparency, authenticity, security. We want to make sure that everything we do as a company is very out in the open. We're turning over authority and control over the platform to the actual members, which is something it's a very bold move. We actually have said that we are not going to be able to, as a company, unilaterally turn off someone's account in the platform. And I don't think anybody has made that statement yet before in another platform like this. We really, really are serious about turning over governance to the community itself.
I love it how it's different than, you've got Facebook and you've got the other centralized platforms, and censorship is rife. So it's good that it's censorship resistant, but of course you've got to abide by the rules. But it's good that it has censorship resistant sort of built into it. Recently, as we know in the US, it was mid last year where you had Mark Zuckerberg in Congress, and he got a grilling from Congress, basically like what you're doing with Facebook privacy, with the data, and also the CEO of Google. And it's Google. YouTube is a subsidiary of Google. And he got grilled as well. And what that shows to me is the lack of trust. There's really the US, the whole world, not to say if Google's wrong or Facebook is wrong, but the fact is that there's a big trust issue going on. So I think that blockchain instills that trust, and what you said is that it brings, where it's immutable, where it's decentralized in its nature, it restores trust, it brings trust into a platform. Now, just another quick interesting thing is that Facebook, I saw the tweet the other day that 43% of US adults get their news from Facebook. I don't trust journalism as it is, but then it goes through the Facebook filter, and Facebook's owned by stockholders, and you think, well, is that going to serve in the best interest of them guys? So it's just, when you've got a platform that is decentralized and it's trustworthy, I think it's really important, Rosemary.
Absolutely agree. And, Facebook was not set up to be a journalistic site, to be serving up news. It really wasn't. Their business model is completely built on delivering ads to eyeballs. And there is a transaction going on in the background where the behavioral information is being traded in exchange for the ad sales. And that's been going on for a really long time. What we're doing is building something different from day one, where we respect the consumer's ownership of their own self-sovereign identity and data. They own their information. If they choose to share it with someone, that is their own decision they can make. But we will not be making transactions in the background behind their back. And I think that's a really, really important core principle that we've got. We will have ads in narrative. There's nothing evil about ads, but it will be an honest transaction. They will be actually targeting the ads at the content, not the individual people.
I think that's a clear thing as well, is that you're targeting not based on individual data collected from the user. So I think that's really important. So Rosemary, so you had your crowd sale back last year. Could you tell us what you've been doing in the last year?
Yeah, so the minute the token sale ended, the last day of March, we actually opened up what we're calling our alpha version of the platform, so that folks who had our NERV token, that's the name of our token, it's an NEP5 token on NEO, they could actually use those NERV tokens in the platform right there on day one. It's a utility token with utility. So people have been, over this last year, really working on building out our niche system. That was the first thing that you could do in the alpha. It was waitlisted. We let our token sale participants in first, and then we've been letting in batches of people over a wait list over the last year. And it's been very interesting. We've had a lot of great learnings. We've got a very active community that people can join as well. So if you're in the alpha and you are looking at niches, you're suggesting them, you're voting on them, buying them, you can actually also join the community itself. And we've got a wonderful feedback loop going because we're really co-creating this with the community. We've got some amazing people who spend hours and hours really considering deeply the way that this thing is going to work. And so to me, that's proof of concept that self-governance, self-determination is something people really are going to grab onto and appreciate.
Oh, definitely. I like how the actual platform rewards creativity and it's based on reputation. And also it goes against and it sort of counteracts spamming and trolling. So where you've got a reputation model, it sort of encourages good behavior. Now, I've gone on to the community page and it's really easy to access because if you're an existing content creator, you can access via your Twitter account, Facebook account, and Google account. So I found it is something really easy to access, which is
Good.
Pretty good. Now, I understand, Rosemary, that part of the platform as well is you mentioned about earlier on about niches. So niches is like the trends. Could you tell us a bit about that, please?
Yeah, so we've seen some really interesting activity. You know, the building out of the niche network was really important so that there's a place to organize all of this content that's coming in. And it's going to aid with discovery of the content even through search engines. So it's really important to get that right. There's been an auction system in place, kind of like an eBay auction. And we've seen the pricing go, you know, the minimum is $75 US. And then there's an auction. We've seen them go up to, I think the highest is around $800 US. So we've had subject areas from everything from your expected cryptocurrency, of course, that went early, all the way to, you know, gardening, holistic medicine, any subject you can think of. It's really starting to be fleshed out. Thousands are in the hopper right now, approved. And, you know, you can only own 5 niches right now. That's how you max out. And we have a lot of people who've already maxed out the number of niches that they can own because they really see the value there.
That's good that you've got that sort of cap because you don't want whales to come in, grab all the niches, and then basically just start taking over the platform from day one. So it's good that you're making it fair for everyone. So I understand. Yeah. So I understand that you went on Neo, and you're on Neo. Your token is an NEP5 token. So Rosemary, how come you chose Neo?
Yeah, well, it's a funny story. We actually started out on Ethereum, had everything smart contract built, ready to go, and we decided, we took a look at Neo. This was all happening during the crazy ICO time last year. Looked at Neo and really saw a fantastic community, the ability to program the smart contract in any language and not be stuck with Ethereum, with Solidity as Ethereum is. It was really an open field in terms of us being able to be seen and really have our voices heard. Brian Lenz, our CTO, became involved with the City of Zion and really saw that that was the direction to go in. They were quantum resistant. It was being, you know, heavily developed, and we just really felt like that was the right decision for us. Transaction speeds, like there are just so many things, so many reasons why it was a good decision. And we really were embraced by the Neo community going forward. So I really feel like that was a pivotal moment for us going over to Neo, and I've been really happy with that decision.
Yeah, definitely, Rosemary. I think transaction speeds are reportedly around about 1,000, which is still very fast, but they're quite ambitious, getting up to 100,000 TPS. And their transactions are not just straight transactions. These are smart contracts that are quite complex in their nature for transactions. So hopefully with Neo 3.0, and I'm really looking forward to the presentations coming from Neo DevCon coming up soon. It's going to be
Yeah, I
really
think there are big things in the works.
definitely. I'm very bullish on Neo in the future and how they're going to assist developers with their applications, their decentralized applications, and Neo 3.0 with its upgrades and what it brings. I think it's going to really help Neo and all of its the apps. So Rosemary, also your token is listed on Switch.io Decentralized Exchange, which is pretty exciting. Being on Neo, I understand that Switch.io also is interoperability as well, so it's got a trading ethereum token. So that's pretty good that your narrative token, the nerve token, is on Switch.io.
Yeah, we're very happy with that. We're also on LA Token and Bilaxy, and of course, as things progress, we'll be looking for even larger exchanges. But Switch.io has been really good to us.
Yeah, awesome. So the actual nerve token itself, Rosemary, so how is it actually used?
Yeah, within the platform, you can actually use Nerve to buy the niches right now. And also, you will be able to buy niches with credit card as well. We're actually, as we speak, we are reopening up the ability to use credit cards to pay for niches as well. We also will have tipping within the platform, so you'll be able to send Nerve credits to or points from one person to another within the platform. And we really see that being interesting from, like, say, a nonprofit perspective, or if you want to sponsor a writer, however you want to do that, you'll be able to send those tokens. Also, there will be other additional, let's say, in-app purchase things you can do with the Nerve tokens in the future. We're looking at, we recently announced also premium memberships are going to be coming to the publications area as well. So we've got lots of exciting things in the works for the internal economy of narrative itself.
So you mentioned something as well about publications and advertising, which is something that you're going to bring, which sounds pretty exciting. And the actual narrative token. So it's utility token, like you mentioned, and it's attractive as utility token. It seems like it's got a use case. It's not something that people with hodl.
Yeah, it's really important for us to be focused fully on how Nerve is used within the platform. That's really our total focus, and making sure that it's working properly, that the system of incentives within the platform are going well. And I think as the platform gains value, then naturally, of course, Nerve will as well.
So coming into now, we're in 2019. So what are you guys looking at bringing with the app, with your platform? Because I think that's going to be the most exciting thing, is the going into the next stage, in the beta stage. Could you please tell us a bit about that, please, Rosemary?
Yeah, we're all very, very excited right now. It's a hive of activity at Narrative headquarters. We just recently opened up the ability to draft content, and that's really kind of one of the final pieces, that because content's been missing from the platform so far. We've been setting up the niches, setting up people electing themselves or putting themselves forward to be moderators. All of that is all the kindling for the bonfire, right? So we're laying the groundwork. The content drafting has been going really well. People were very excited to start being able to stockpile content for the niches. And you can actually see, if you go on the alpha now, we're showing a reporting page, so you can watch how many pieces of content are stockpiled, and also which niches. We're listing the top 10 niches in terms of how much content is sitting there ready to go live on the day that we put the beta out. The beta comes out in March, and that will be the first day that content will actually be publicly visible on the platform. So all the preparatory work that we're doing between now and March has to do with making sure that an initial experience is fantastic for people coming into the platform. It will open up, so we'll no longer have a wait list going. People will be able to come and view content from the outside. They'll be able to post content live. will start being findable in the search engines. Like, that's really when the ball starts rolling. So it's very, very exciting times.
So it seems like you've just leaded up to this now. This is going to be your year, and you're going to have a user-friendly platform that hopefully is going to get a lot of attention. It's going to get adopted.
Yeah, we've got a really great user acquisition plan in place that includes referrals, some paid advertising, some influencer outreach as well. You'll be seeing within the next couple of weeks, you'll be seeing some of that come to light publicly. We've got some really exciting ideas that we're going to make sure that we're pouring gasoline on the fire and making sure that this really goes wild. Something that's in our favor, though, you mentioned early in the conversation, the news cycle is really helping us because there's a lot of built up frustration out there of people really looking for a home. They want to write, they want to create, they want to be seen and get visibility for their content, but it's really tough out there. And with the idea that you could be shut down at any minute for an unknown reason by an unknown person is really driving a lot of people to search around for a great place to be. So we're planning to definitely take advantage of that news cycle. You've got folks, you know, even Google Plus refugees, people looking for a place to go now that that's being shut down. You've got even Steemit people. You know, Steemit was wonderful attempt, you know, at possibly leveraging blockchain to build a content community. Unfortunately, their model really kind of promoted the buildup of bots and inauthentic behavior because of the way the reputation system is based on how many tokens you own. It was kind of really hard to overcome that, I think, by newcomers, even though they built up an amazing amount of members. I mean, huge. So I think we'll be attracting a lot of those folks who are looking for a home now too. So there's lots of little groups out there. Hopefully everyone who's watching this will go check us out and bring their friends in, and, you know, let's build this together.
Everyone's looking for alternative content. I guess a content creator myself, I use Steemit, I use Library, I use Twitter, I use Facebook, and I'm always looking for a very good, decent platform that's user-friendly, and I won't be scared of my account getting closed and all of my work suddenly just going down the drain. So I think there's a real need, and just the fact is what's going on, it only basically adds fuel. You're going to get more people drive to narrative. And I like the fact as well that you're not just targeting, or you're not just crypto blockchain specific, that your audience is outside of crypto. So you're drawing in members that are nothing to do with crypto, your everyday person, your person who likes your gardening, your cooking, wants to write their blogs on, I don't know, when they go traveling and things like that. So you're targeting people outside of crypto, and you're bringing them into the crypto space. So you've got the best of both worlds there, and I think it's really awesome. And
thank you.
You guys are going to possibly look at Android app, iOS app in the future. So I think it's going to assist you guys with adoption. So are you guys got that in the pipeline like soon, or?
Yeah, definitely. That the platform right now works really well in the browser on phones, but we know really it's more convenient for everyone if you have an app on iOS and Android. So that is definitely in our roadmap. We know that's really important. So that's early on in the roadmap. That's going to be happening. And that will also then allow things like push notifications and things that make it more sticky too.
So something else as well that's caught my eye with narrative, what you guys are looking at doing is that you're looking at branching off and focusing not just on English, but in other languages as well. So you're targeting the global audience. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, you know, the challenge we're talking about, censorship, fake news, you know, account deletions, moderation problems, all of that is not just an American issue. It's a global issue. And the idea of owning your own identity and content is not just a US issue, it's a global issue. And, you know, often it's even worse in countries where maybe you don't have access to speak your mind online. So it's really important to us to come out with other languages. We also know people like participating in an environment that's single language. I think we've seen other platforms that are a jumble of different languages. How it's hard to parse through that as a user. So the initial platform of Narrative will be English only. And then we are committed to roll out Spanish, French, and German. And then after that, we even will consider other cultural separate instances of the platform as well for cultures that would perhaps need their own whole platform, like let's say India, or a market that would just require a whole separate instance.
Awesome, Rosemary. So just something we'll talk about, and just something a little bit off topic, but it's of interest. Where you guys are based in the US, and you sort of where you mentioned the US there, and what I want to know is from your perspective, if you think that current US regulations are pro for innovation?
Yeah, unfortunately, the answer is I think that we're being held back a little bit currently by the uncertainty. You know, markets like certainty and predictability. And I think the sooner we have clarity on where the regulatory agencies are going to go, and even which agency is going to take the lead. You've got multiple different agencies looking at crypto and blockchain and ICOs at the same time. And there's starting to be some movement towards something. But the sooner that happens, the better for all of us, because we're ready. I think as projects in the US, we're ready to go off to the races. We're ready to innovate and we're ready to break new ground. But if you know you're going to be hauled into court, it definitely tends to stifle that. We've taken great pains to make sure that we comply with as much as is clear right now, and documented everything. But it's definitely the cloud of uncertainty makes it harder.
Yeah, I can hear you, Rosemary, and it sounds like a similar tune from other projects as well in the US that I've interviewed. It's a lot of hoops you've got to go through and a lot of boxes you've got to tick, and the whole demographic, the whole situation could change. So it could suddenly change and you feel like you could do all this work and then the token classification could get changed in the future. So Rosemary, is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers by any chance regarding narrative?
I think we've covered it, but I would like to seriously invite everyone to come check out the alpha, go to narrative.org and let us know what you think. You know, is this what you're craving? Come give us your opinion. This is really a community project. And, you know, the bigger the community is, the more power we all have to build something that works for us.
So guys, what I'll do, I'll put a link down below for you to go and check out Narrative if you want to get involved. And I'm just going to give a quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I just provide a platform for these projects to share on. Do your own research, of course. I'm not telling you to buy or invest in Narrative. Just something that if you're interested in the platform, check out yourselves, get involved. It's something that I like. It's caught my eye. Just see if you like it, guys. So thank you so much for your time, Rosemary. It's been an absolute pleasure. And enjoy your Super Bowl with the Redskins.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure, and have a good rest of the week.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.